for Humanity has been constructing. All of that and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Samantha Stressman.
And I'm Fernando Balderrama. Thank you so much for watching.
A plane crashed at the Los Altos Golf Course in Albuquerque today at 11:37 a.m. after attempting an emergency landing. This flight left this morning at 9:22 a.m. from Wichita, Kansas Airport. The pilot Wade Tagg stated, "Me and my sister went to college here in Albuquerque, and we got tired of the 4-hour drive back home, so we started going on the advanced airline and the airline that changed. We love it." The two individuals were trapped inside when emergency services arrived. They were both extricated and transported to the University of New Mexico Hospital. One individual has been confirmed dead, and the other is currently in critical condition.
A Roswell man is facing multiple charges related to a stabbing incident in Roswell on Tuesday evening. At around 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the Roswell police responded to a call at an apartment complex on the 1600 block of West Summit Street. Through investigation, officers found out Michael G. Trujillo was in an apartment with his girlfriend when his girlfriend's mother arrived with a male friend who waited by the car. Trujillo then took a kitchen knife and went outside and stabbed the other man who was waiting by the car several times in multiple places, then allegedly stabbed himself twice in the stomach. Trujillo is charged with aggravated battery, tampering with evidence, battery of a peace officer, and 2 counts of resisting or obstructing an officer. What was supposed to be a good family walk has led to serious charges for a father. On February 7th of this year, John Hannon went on a walk with his 2 children but only returned home with his older child, which promptly led to a search and charges for Hannon after his 11-month-old son was reported missing and found dead. The day after the walk occurred, the mother of the 11-month-old child reported the missing baby to the San Juan County Police, which led to deputies to rush to Hannon's home. Deputies searched the premises, but the baby boy was unfortunately not there. Hannon was then arrested on a warrant for felony drug charges and was brought in for questioning. Investigators searched by foot and air for the missing baby boy and later found him in a remote area near Flora Vista. Hannon has been charged with abuse of a child resulting in death and tampering with evidence.
An ongoing police investigation at the Torrance County Detention Center has led to a total of 6 people being federally charged. The Estancia Police Department started an investigation for controlled substances back in January of this year. As of right now, one of the controlled substances was identified to be Suboxone, released in court documents. The 6 suspects EPD have right now are Delania and James Kaiser, Aaron Baca, Eric Pizarro, and Ryan Klein. Each suspect is facing a charge of trafficking of a controlled substance. The police say the investigation remains ongoing as of Thursday, March 5th. Anyone with information on related drug activity has been asked to contact Estancia Police. You know, I don't know about you, but I've really been wanting to know more about the weather today.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's about to get real bad with the allergens. I've gone through so many tissue boxes recently, it's not even funny. And right now it's pretty low, but we're going to be seeing some wind coming in, which you can catch on my full weather. But for now, we can take a look at what our allergens are. They will get worse, though, with the wind coming up throughout the week. Our tree allergens are the highest. They are the biggest contributors that we have, while our pollen and ragweed are low. Things you can do. If you live in a foresty area, places with a lot of trees or bushes, you can wear a mask, you can take over-the-counter allergy medicine, and you can as well close your windows and keep airflow throughout the house, whether through ceiling fans, or an air conditioner. That's all I have for now, but like I said, stay tuned because on My Full Weather, we'll be talking about the wind coming our way. Back to y'all.
Thank you, Lainey. As we get into the warmer time of year, we start to see more construction. Habitat for Humanity wasted no time getting to work on a special project.
We were able to catch up with them this past weekend to find out exactly what it was springing up right here in Portales.
We're out here, we're working on house number 17 here in Portales. What we do is we alternate between Portales and Clovis, and we are building a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for Alicia Sotelo and her family. And every Saturday we come out from about 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
I heard about it from the community, and then I applied for it. You have to have a bunch of different things ready. They go off your taxes, they go off your income.
What we usually try to do is we'll start taking applications for the next build probably 9 months out before we finish this one. God willing, if everything is okay with the weather and materials, then we should have this one built in between 8 to 10 months. And then we'll start taking applications for the next one. We have criteria where we have a minimum income, family size, and then once you get on your list, we do have a selection committee. The selection committee comes out and looks at what your current living conditions are, the size of the family, and then once we gather all of that information, we come back to the board and we just present our findings for our applicants, and then at that point the board decides who they want to partner with. We call the family, and if they're willing to partner with us. The way Habitat kind of works is that every house that we build, the location which we build on is usually property that someone has donated to us. And so we let the partnering family decide kind of what floor plan they're looking at according to what lot we're going to be building on. Once we have that selected, then we'll get all the blueprints drawn up and we go from there and just start building. Whenever we have all of our people come, they're normally volunteers. They come from all skill sets. You may have people that are into construction. Of course, with our location, we have a lot of people that volunteer from the military. Then, of course, we have the partnering family and their families come in. We have people that actually have built before, done construction. We have people that have never touched a power tool. And one of the things that we do is, we try to get them comfortable with using the power tools. We really like to make sure that we have the homeowners really comfortable knowing the ins and outs, because of course this is going to be their home, and the last thing you want to do is have something new that you have no idea about. So by the time the house is built, the homeowners will know pretty much everything about their house. We have people that come from churches. We have people that are part of different civic organizations, and they just come out and help us build a house.
I'm very excited and very happy to have a home for me and my children. I'm a single mom, so getting a house built for you and going by your income is great.
I always like to say with Habitat, a lot of people feel like we're giving a handout. At Habitat, we feel like we're giving a hand up. We're taking people that are in our communities, so it just doesn't affect her, but it affects the neighborhoods and the communities in which we build in, and it just allows people to, be part of something that's, giving back to the community.
If you would like to get more information on how to apply, donate, or volunteer, you can stop by the Habitat for Humanity office in Portales or visit their website, habitatrc.com. March 14th, 2026, New Mexico State Police Association are hosting a 5K run and walk in honor of fallen officer Justin Hare. They invite our community to join in running, walking, or sharing in support. Together we remember, together we stand. It will be held at Damon Covles Park in Tucumcari, New Mexico. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and will close at 9:45 a.m. The run and walk will start at 10 a.m. For registration, you can register the day of the event or register in advance at nmspassoc.org. For registration fees, they will be taking donations, and all proceeds will go to Officer Hare's daughters.
Aspiring rock bands from Albuquerque are heading to the southeast part of New Mexico. This upcoming week, 1v1 Booking proudly presents the bands Gun Game, Cabar, Fold Under Pressure, and Blood Horde are all collaborating for a fun-filled night to rock out. This event will take place March 14th at 6:30 p.m. The location is in Roswell at the Black Hawk Brewery. There is no coverage charge, so the event is free, but the brewery does ask that you respect the space.
Join us after the break for Lainey's full weather report.
But first, let's take a look at today's financial market.
My name is Lainey Carlock. Let's take a look at that weather, why don't we? So starting off with our national radar, we're going to see a little bit of precipitation moving its way up into the states. Specifically, I want to pay attention to Denver, especially being close to New Mexico. They're getting a little bit of snow wanting to move into Colorado overall towards the northern areas, northeastern areas. We're seeing up into the northeast of the states, especially heading toward the Toronto, Minneapolis, Chicago area. We're seeing that precipitation wanting to move its way up. So if you know anyone who lives in those areas, they may be expecting a little bit of rain coming on. But I did promise we would talk about the wind in our state. We're going to be seeing some wind moving in through tonight. As we can see, Friday at 5 p.m. It's going to be moving in through tonight at that 10, 20 mile per hour areas. Unless you're living further down into the state, you're going to be seeing probably up to 30 to 40 mile per hour areas. As we move into this weekend, Saturday, we're going to be seeing it lower down into about 10 mile per hour overall. Nothing too horrible. It's going to leave out and make its way back into the eastern part of the state, specifically towards the Portales and Albuquerque areas, about 10 to 20 mile per hour, possibly a little bit of 30 mile per hour coming up. And as we move into that night, it's really going to hit that northeastern part of the state with those 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. Overall, not horrendous, but with the allergies that we do have going on, be aware that they are going to get worse as they are blown around and there is dust. So if you do have asthma, COPD, any other lung conditions, be aware of what is coming this weekend and take precaution. Let's take a look at our temperatures. Starting off with our current temperatures, I know it's been a little hot recently, but we're going to be seeing that it's going to kind of cool down just a tiny bit, especially up towards the northwest. 44 in Gallup with 45 in Farmington, 52 in Albuquerque, and 45 in Santa Fe as we move on down into our eastern hometowns. 72 in Roswell, 64 in Portales, and 63 in Clovis. Can't forget about our Texas friends. 67 in Amarillo and 75 in Lubbock. As for tonight's lows, we're going to be seeing a little bit of freezing temperatures along the state. So do be aware that if you live in places like Gallup or Farmington, Santa Fe, Raton, you're going to be getting down to freezing. Pipes can burst. Make sure your water is dripping. 18 in Gallup, 23 in Farmington, 27 in Santa Fe, 36 in Socorro. Down towards the Roswell, Portales areas, 35 in Roswell, 33 in Portales, and 32 in Clovis. As for tomorrow's highs, they're going to be pretty similar to today, so no worries about that. It was a pretty nice day overall, in my opinion. But up towards the Gallup, Farmington areas, it's going to be about 54, 55, 64 in Socorro, 61 in Albuquerque. And as we move down east, we're going to be seeing it drop down into the 60s, about 63, 63 in Roswell and Portales, 61 in Clovis and Tucumcari. Let's get on to our 7-day forecast. Personally, my favorite part, as you get to see an entire overview. Starting off with Roswell, we're going to be seeing those sunny skies that I promised. A little bit of cloudiness on Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, up into the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and down into the 30s, 40s, and 50s. As we move forward onto Carlsbad, we're going to be seeing that cloudiness still being present throughout the week, but windiness on Tuesday. So to be aware of that if you live in Carlsbad, up into the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 90 on Friday, and down into the 40s and 50s for our lows. Tucumcari, a little bit of that cloudiness, but windiness on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Up into the 70s, 80s, and 60s, dropping down into the lows of 30s and 40s with a real big low on Saturday night at 36, and also 34 on Wednesday. And finishing off with good old hometown Portales, windiness expected on Wednesday with a little bit of cloudiness on Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, up into the 60s, 70s, and 80s, really up there on Friday at 87, and down into the 30s, 40s, and 50s for our lows. So overall, pretty sunny, pretty nice, little bit of windiness throughout the spring break coming up, but nothing too horrible.
You know, that makes me relieved because I know that I've been struggling with the cold weather recently.
I get it. I love that it's a little bit warm now.
Join us back at the news desk for more news after the break. The Eastern New Mexico Board of Regents met on February 27th to discuss various business matters, including the demolition of Zeta Tau Alpha's house. The regents voted unanimously to demolish the 3,911 square foot house built in 1985. This comes after the collapse of the upper floor due to a water leak a decade ago. The house has been uninhabitable since, with many members mourning the loss. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed a historic broadband affordability bill into law. This bill will assist thousands of low-income New Mexico families to receive internet assistance. This bill is expected to assist as many as 27,000 families in the first year. Jeff Lopez stated, "This law sends a clear message that all New Mexicans deserve access to broadband despite their income, and the governor's signature ensures that tens of thousands of New Mexicans will now be able to afford high-speed internet. I am grateful the governor and the legislature took action on this important bipartisan issue to help low-income families pay for this vital infrastructure." The law passed unanimously through New Mexico Senate with 38-0, and the House approved with 48-14. This law will go into effect May 20th of 2026.
Albuquerque police have identified a woman who died almost 35 years ago. When discovered, an autopsy determined she had died by suicide, but she did not have any identification, so the police called her Becca Doe. She remained a mystery until this year when police used genealogy to find her family. She has been identified as Becca Malacute. Her family had last seen her in 1991 when she was leaving from Los Angeles. She was 18 when she died, and the police department said Wednesday would have been her 53rd birthday.
Join us after the break where Stephen will have his full sports report.
Welcome back to News 3. I'm Steven Shutton. Let's take a look at today's sports report. The 2026 Newsenda Credit Union state basketball brackets have been released. For Class 4A, the number 8 seed Belen Eagles will be playing the number 9 seed Portales Rams at Belen High tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Another game that will be tomorrow evening is number 1 seed Highland High as number 16 seed Grants High at Highland High tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. All of these games are the first round of the state tournament, and the quarterfinals will be at UNM at the Pit. To see the full bracket from Class 1A through 5A, go to www.nmact.org. The Hounds are back at home this weekend in a 4-game series against the Falcons of University of Texas Permian Basin. Their first game is at 5 p.m. Mountain Time at Greyhound Baseball Field. On Saturday, it is a doubleheader with the first game starting at 2 p.m. and then 5 p.m. Mountain Time. The Hounds will be at home until Sunday, March 8th. Will the Hounds bounce back and be back in the winning streak? Only time will tell. During spring break, March 13th through 15th, the Hounds will be on the road against the number 4 in the LSC UT Tyler. Then the next homestead after spring break will be March 20th through 22nd.
Right now my name's Owen. So sorry about that. My name's Owen. We're here in we're in Frisco, looking at the Lone Star Conference tournament right now. As you can see right now, we have UT Permian Basin playing against Texas Women's University right now. It's a close game. It's 14-22 with Texas Women's ahead. But I want to talk about Eastern. I want to talk about the Greyhounds. If you watched on Flow Sports last night, you get to see the Greyhounds absolutely roll West Texas A&M last night. We beat them by double digits. Some notable names from that game. We have Jose Murillo, who dropped double-digit points. Cooper Jackson did an amazing job. He was very efficient from the three-point line. Also dropped another set of two double-digit points. And then Trayvon Bird. Well, you've been hearing those names all week, all year basically. They've been doing a great job, phenomenal job, just wherever they're at, in the paint, from the three-point line, just dominating. But I also want to talk about the Greyhounds. The Lady Greyhounds. They play tonight at 8 Texas time. That's 7 for you guys over in New Mexico. So if you want to go and watch that, it's on Flow College Sports. You can watch that there. They're playing against Lubbock Christian University. That's also Eastern New Mexico. Eastern's men are playing Lubbock Christian tomorrow on Saturday. So make sure you tune in that for Flow College Sports. We played this team before. We've beaten them before. So hopefully we can set them right back up, punch them in the mouth while we're there, and have a great game against them. So, yeah. Well, we're here in Frisco, Texas. We're going to be posting out more and more stuff throughout the year, so make sure to be watching checking our Instagram, looking at all that good stuff, and we'll throw it back to you, Steven.
The Hounds beat the Buffaloes of West Texas A&M yesterday in the LSC tournament quarterfinals. That's all the sports I have for you right now, but don't go anywhere because we have more news after this break.
Welcome back.
Why don't we talk about that weather, Lainey?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at that weekend weather that will be coming up. Starting off with Santa Rosa, we're going to be having some wind on those Fridays and Saturday for them, or Sunday, sorry, for them with clear skies on Saturday, no wind. Up into the 50s, 58, 57, and then really up there at 73 on Sunday. Moving on to Carlsbad. It's going to be windy on Friday for them, but they get a little bit of a break on Saturday and Sunday with some cloudiness on Sunday. Mildly high temperatures for them, 75 on Friday, 64 on Saturday, and 72 on Sunday. And finally, for good old Portales, some windiness on Friday at 64 degrees, and Saturday and Sunday sunny with a little bit of cloudiness on Sunday at 64 on Saturday and 72 on Sunday. So overall, not too bad. Warm weekend for everyone, it seems like, but clear, sunny, a little bit of wind.
Honestly, I think that's really nice. I appreciate that we're getting this good weather going into spring break, in all honesty.
Absolutely, but remember, there are some of us, especially up into that Raton area, that are getting those freezing temperatures.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We'll see you back at the news desk after spring break.